So this is a play about the Spanish Civil War and the Canadians who went to fight in the Spanish Civil War. And their battalion was called the Mackenzie Papineau Battalion. And there were about somewhere between 12 and 1,500 Canadians who went. I think over 600 of them died, lost their lives. And it's also focusing on the only woman that we know of, Jean Watts, who was part of the Mackenzie Papineau Regiment, battalion. She drove an ambulance. So it is a play about the Canadians that really felt energized and committed to trying to fight fascism in Spain. And a lot of people refer to the Spanish Civil War, it took place from 35 to 39, as the dress rehearsal for the Second World War. So it's an extraordinary story of courage. It has romance in it. It's very exciting. We have an old truck, an old 1940s truck in it. So I think there'll be something for everyone in terms of fourth line. And it also has this extraordinary set with a revolving stage, which we've never done before here, so I'm super excited.
I play Jim Watts, so she is a very interesting person. Jim is someone who is definitely looking for their place in the world and is a little bit unsatisfied with where they're at, and so kind of sets out on this journey that we course over the play of finding themselves. Jim becomes a reporter, goes over to the Spanish Civil War to report from Spain, becomes an ambulance driver, stays an activist all their life, and is really interested in making a difference in the world.
Dorothy Livesay was a Canadian poet. She won the Governor General's Award twice for her work, and she was really exploring shifting from poetry to a more political undertone in her work. And I think that's really interesting because she wasn't as ready, I think, to take the kind of stand that Jim was and going to the front and making that kind of leap. But I think she was having her own transition in her own way at the time. It is the 1930s, and so exploring politics through poetry as a woman was also controversial.
The bosses killed you, Joe. They shot you, Joe.
Jim Higgins was born in England, moved to Canada just in time for the Great Depression to hit, did a lot of union work, ended up in relief camps around the country. And then when the Spanish Civil War broke out and the Non-Interventionist Pact was signed by all the countries, he refused his country and went overseas anyway and fought with no safety net, no reinforcements, and just fought against Franco and the Mussolini and Hitler-backed military force there trying to take over Spain. Once he finished the Spanish Civil War, he came back to Canada, biked through America, meeting with all the families of the soldiers that fought by his side, and then eventually settled down in Peterborough. Met a woman named Rita, had 5 beautiful kids, and continued to try to organize the workers, create unions wherever he could go, improve social situations wherever he could go.